Oh, lost track of time. Do. Let's see. Testing. Hold on, getting my partner for today. Nope. Trying that one. All right. Unavailable. Son of a... All right, trying again. Hey, thank you, Waldo. Hold on, I'm trying to get those fish off the screen, but I gotta get into the game first. Let's see, that is Humbaba there with the big red eye. That looks like Pearl. Pearl and China look a lot alike. Alright, well, I'm going it alone. Oh, nope. I think that was the right one. Let me try that again. We'll give you a few extra minutes here. Hey, thank you very much, Versago2099. And I'm just about... Oh, wait, maybe you're here and I just don't see you. There you are. That's okay. We're live, by the way. I lost track of time. Let's see. Now I can get that one off. Oh, that's the wrong one. Come on, you can do it. Get the game. There we go. Ah. No, that's just right. All right, hold on. Oh, let me get rid of that. Yeah, only like 5 minutes late. Okay. Thank you for the follows. Thank you, Waldo. Oh, we're on a hype train here. For those who are new, we do prizes at the end of the stream, and for every level of the hype train you guys complete, we give away an extra round of prizes. This is your chance to help your friends on the stream out. And actually, people on the stream aren't the ones who get it. In case you don't know, the way to get in on the prizes is to go in-game and say the key phrase, which is... Spring makes my heart sing.
Does it now?
That's the phrase. They were concerned that it was going to make me sing on the stream, and that was something related. That is unrelated. Also, if you're new on the stream, you can get a question in by doing !question, space, whatever your question is, and that goes into a log so I don't lose track of it. Too easy to lose track of good questions with the screen scrolling. And I am in game today, but I am on QA. I had intended to publish some of the changes on QA that people seemed to like over the live. Did not get that done today. I'll probably try and get it done this weekend. Just falling behind on a few things. And let's see. Let me get you some questions up there. That's for my partner in crime, who I have here with me today. But first, my name is Chris Spears. Atos in game, but I also go by a bunch of other character names because everybody's friended Atos. So you guys know when I'm on when I'm Atos, and I try not to. I want to do testing, I get on and do it on other characters. So I'm frequently playing on other characters. Usually come as Atos to events and stuff, though. Up here in the corner, we have
Ravalox, also known as Steve. Or Zolivar, depending on what mood I'm in, I guess.
Let me see if I can get you a little louder there. I have not tested the audio here. Give me a quick test.
Test, test, test.
Okay, that's pretty good. There we go. All right, so we didn't have a theme today. We were going to talk about a few things. Just stuff coming up. I think this release has gone, again, better than I expected. I think I mentioned that last week. I was expecting a little bit of a train wreck, but actually seemed to turn out pretty well. We got a few more bugs to fix here. I know there's a few more bugs already fixed on QA. I think some of the mount bugs were fixed. I've not confirmed myself by Devil Cult, who is probably out there in the audience right now. Cringing that I might say something. Cringing. Let's see if he says anything about the mounts. Hello, Miss Cabell. But also lots of balance issues. I've actually been working on balance, primarily balance stuff, trying to get things good. Maybe this will be the release where I feel pretty good about things. Let's see. I fixed the mount, I think. You guys can go verify them for. Can you tell them which mount bug? Because there are actually a couple of them.
I think he's talking about the VFX one where there's VFX afterwards.
Okay, so the horse butt in face might still be an issue when you dismount. I think horse butt in face might still be an issue.
Yeah. It's the VFX. He and I tested that together, and it looks like it's pretty solid.
Okay, cool. All right. Thank you, Red Hammers. It still is. Yeah, I think the horse button face is fixed. It's the double or the lasting VFX. All right, Laney's going to be happy with you guys because you only got the level 1 on the hype train. That's fewer prizes for her to hand out. That's. And I will be doing all the thanks there at the end, but thank you guys for the support. Let's see. I'm trying to think. I put a thing on Twitter. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. I was actually happy with some of the changes that were intended to get people moving around the maps and using other maps. Those seem to be going pretty well. I looked in the top map, only 14% of experience. Only 14% of the experience was coming from the top scene, which at some point it was more in the 40% range. So that's great. There were in the top 75 scenes, 14 different maps made the top at like 75%, which before that was really in the 3 to 4 range at times. Which means that people are adventuring in different places, going around different places, trying out different scenes, which is really the goal. We don't want to force you all to one scene. There were a number of scenes, rather than it being a couple of scenes with like 40%, and then a couple of scenes with 10%, and then everything else crammed into little tiny slivers of experience. It was actually like 14 or 15 scenes that had 5% or more, and the top scene was 14%. So, awesome news to see you guys moving around the world. In terms of other balanced stuff, I think we're pretty happy with the changes that were made. There's still some more to go on. I know some crafting stuff. Elgarion's got some crafting stuff that is kind of will help balance out things that went in this release, but those will not be going live till next release, which is going to be some more crafting changes to help so that items, some of the artifact stuff that was reduced in power, will be able to have more enchants put on it for the future release. So I think that some of that stuff will still come around. And yeah, as Tuller said, the low tier scenes will never show up as high experience. Yeah, well, low level, that's to be expected. But I think overall we're pretty happy with the changes that went in. I've heard some good feedback on things. I've heard some frustrated people as well that I made their scene not soloable. I think that's primarily with some of the extreme difficulty scenes. There were some that were just really easy compared to the experience that they gave. which again, our intention never been that players should be able to make 10 million experience points in 10 minutes and then do whatever they wanted to for 50 minutes. The intention is to get it all balanced, get things so it feels fairly even risk reward across all scenes, and that it feels like it's actually you're earning what you're getting, and then to take away the attunement. So if you want to play for an hour, you can play for an hour. If you want to play for 30 minutes, you can play for 30 minutes. If you want to just keep playing, you can. And again, we are well aware. Let me just go ahead and say that we are well aware that there are a few players who have said, well, if it changes like that, then I'm out of here. And that, unfortunately, is one of those things that we may just have to accept. We really need to make the game something that feels good to new players who come into the game as well as the existing players. So really trying to shoot for that target of, you have a choice of where to play, you have a choice of how to play, which means we're going to be stepping on some toes and bringing the nerf hammer down on a few more things. But anyways, I think we're at a pretty good spot, a better spot than we were last release. I think next release is going to be even better. I think some people saw some of the changes that I was making, some of it to balance out the shields. I'm actually doing sort of what some of the players had suggested be done for a lot of things, which is rather than continuing to brutally nerf some things down to the lowest level, I'm actually trying to bring the shield spells up so that there's a use for all of them. So we brought Shield of Air down quite a bit, so it's still a little OP, but it fits the playstyle, and I think it is still very powerful. May not be as powerful as people wanted it to be. There'll probably be a few more changes go on for it, but it's pretty powerful. Then Immolation's the next most popular in the shield category. Looking at the others, trying to get those up. Death Shield is actually a little less popular. And then the other two, the Shield of Ice, Shield of Earth, were two of the ones I was trying to bring up. So trying to bring those up so people, in Earth and whatever schools, they felt like they could have a choice, and try to make sure they have a purpose to them. So, the other one...
I didn't catch it, but there is a comment from the gallery here that to remind you the difference between attunement and attenuation. I didn't hear, but of course I'm just,
You guys know what I mean. Just fill in the words. Blah, blah, blah. You guys know what... sorry. Attenuation, not attunement. If Shield of Ice goes live as it is, every mage other than Fire will be using it. Really? I guess I need to take a look at it to see what's going on with it. But, it may not go live as it is right now. But Shield of Ice and Shield of Earth are trying to get getting some love to get it up. Let me check to see what's going on here since I'm on here right now. I'm guessing the big thing on there was the spell crit damage. 27%. That's one of those that I look at and I try to look at what it does to the total DPS. I know you guys look at it and you're like, compare it to other things. I try to now 6 stack it. All right, I'll 6 stack it here real quick. I know what it should be. But anyways, I try to look at the total DPS. I do factor in a little bit the max hit. That's, it's worth more to have the same DPS but have bigger max hits. At least to some players. For PvE people, it's not that big of a difference, but to PvP people, it is not. So I look at the... total difference to DPS, which is not that big. Yeah, 34%. Again, I look at the total DPS, and that is not that big. I am trying to get it to a point where if you're a caster, you have a choice. You're not just looking at it. Pretty much all casters were Shield of Air type people, so... Yeah, it may need to come down a little bit. I'll run another test. Usually when I do these things, I know I have my math where I can go and look and actually calculate it and put it in the spreadsheet, but I always go and try to do an in-person test just to see if there's something I'm missing and see, gear factored in. Of course, there's a million different variables that go into it, but I'll look at it. Coswald, I trust your opinion I value your opinion greatly. If you say 10%, I will definitely take a look at it. All right. Got a bunch of questions flowing in here. I'm trying to think of other big stuff going on. Again, pets. If you're somebody who has a pet, I'm trying to take a look at all summoned pets. The tame pets, I think they've got, they're in a pretty good place, possibly too good of a place. But they've got a lot of choices. And again, that's kind of a career choice almost type thing when you're talking about tamed versus summoned. But I'm looking at all those guys. I'm trying to make them things that are meaningful. Again, the one I've been working on, I took a day off yesterday to spend with the wee one, my child, to go on a field trip with her. But working on the Phoenix, trying to get the Phoenix to feel good. And I'm still struggling with something feels good with the Phoenix. It's tough. All my brain, when I think about Phoenix stuff, it always goes to, like, fire, give me fire boost. But really, obviously the Phoenix is a sun summon. It feels like it needs to be sun, or it has to be sun. It is going to be sun. But the challenge is there's just not enough stuff in sun, which brings up the other, I think probably pretty well-known problem, which is sun magic needs some more options, some more things it can do. So shoot lasers out of its eyes. Yeah, I mean, that's the other option. Other thing I've considered is just making it a, increasing the DPS on it. That's the easiest option. I was trying to find ways, again, I always try to look at things as not just turn up the DPS or turn up the health on something, but actually try to make it so it feels unique and different. Alright. Alexander Soda, please, please, please make a new icon for either Heal or Frenzy. They're the same as a Taming Tree and really confusing. That is something we can get done pretty quick. Hold on, let me get it to my list. Tame, Heal, and Frenzy, same icon. That's usually one of those things that is on me, but usually it's a skill comes in at the last minute just before release, and I don't give Damon time to get a new icon for it, so... Let's see. Surely not. Hold on 1 second. Stream? Sorry about that. The wife is starting a vacuum cleaner. All right. Ready to answer some questions?
Sure.
Spinal the Great was asking about reworked food system. Cooking could be a huge gold sink. Is it possible to give us the opportunity to somehow increase the cooking batch size? By new skill or by artifact or by blessing or mix? As we look at batch size, that's something you start talking about. Hey, Marcus, looks like you guys are going to get to hear the song of spring after all. Thank you very much, John Marcus. But the increasing the batch size on those things, this is one of those things we always try to throw out. That's one that feels like very much a convenience. We continue to try to make sure the rewards program, a subscription, is valuable. How toxic are you guys going to get with this if we do something like increase the batch size for people who have a active rewards program? We'll wait. But yeah, that's getting in as a gold sink. I was actually looking. I do watch the economy pretty closely, and we have had a little bit of an inflation problem, but actually clearing out people who were our botters has actually reduced some of that. Pay to win, convenience to win, or pay to convenience. Let's see. I dig it, but it will get toxic. Yeah, that's why every time one of these things come up, we always have the same thing. And this was not me doing it and then asking you guys what you thought about it first. I'm always trying to figure out a way to make the rewards program more valuable. So that's whenever we can do that, and when it's valuable in terms of convenience, and batch size is one of those things that feels like a convenience thing.
Hey, a side note, since you're mentioning the rewards program, I have a new set of titles going in. The up until a few months ago, we had titles that were issued to the folks who were in there, like a ladder system, right? And the last one that was programmed into the system went out, I think about 4 months ago now, or maybe even more. So I have new titles. I'm putting them into the system. I need to touch base with TAS and make sure I get them set up for delivery correctly. I believe that once they're in there, anybody who's past that level will automatically get those delivered to them.
And I see Bridge Troll here says, Ravalox, please add me to Bug Brigade. Requested in
Okay.
foreign mail. A name I know well. So, let's see. Hold on one second here.
Where's my notes?
Getting my list together. And also for you guys on the Bug Brigade, always give us feedback on stuff too. You guys who are putting in that extra effort would love feedback on stuff like what you guys just gave me on the ice shield. Again, on my spreadsheets, it looks great as it is right now. I will admit that I do usually not factor in the 6 charge effect. But yeah, on the spreadsheet, for as far as DPS goes, it feels good compared to the others, but it's always tough. Let's see. Bridge Troll, please let us combine legacy artifacts without essence and salvage steps. The combined changes were not well communicated. I agree there's a little bit of confusion on that stuff, and that is one that I think some of that, I don't think it was rushed. It was just, well, it was a lot of work, and I don't think we had a good time to communicate everything to players, and we didn't ever really put out a big press release, and I don't think it got enough time on QA, which is part of why I was saying this. I thought this release was going to be a little bit of a train wreck, but actually, overall, I think it went pretty well. But yeah, that's, as usual, one of their biggest weaknesses is failing to communicate stuff well to players. It's something that, the good news is it's something that largely only affects older players, not newer players, so at least that part's good. I think going forward it's a much cleaner system. Let's see. Can there be a private option for taking new people to the fall since price of Oracle is off? Maybe just for a little bit. That's from Furfoot. I don't understand why you don't want to go to the fall. If the Oracle is off, what's the danger, right? That is one of those where I think that it's exclusive, and that's kind of the price to get in there. There's a lot of cool stuff in there, like cool visuals, cool design, and some cool rewards in there. And there's actually, you can get some pretty decent experience points in there for a certain type of player. It's a really awesome zone. But I think that is kind of the cost of admission into it, is you either got to go in and, fight with other people a little bit, or you're paying the price of admission by being the target for the wolves out there. It is, honestly, I don't think there's that many people in there who are actively PvPing. I see a lot of people, that is where a lot of deaths happen, but I also see a lot of people working together in there, so give it a try.
So there's a question, when are the catnip collection contests being sent out? I guess there's the prizes for that.
Oh, if those did not get sent out, that was probably a failure to communicate between Laney and Elgarion, or just...
Oh, no, they're in progress.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay. Good update. I didn't know.
Not a problem.
I assume that was one that Elgarion ran the contest, but maybe didn't communicate to Laney.
Yeah, I think it's a workload thing right now with the rate of stuff that's coming in through customer service.
Let's see. Hold on, I'm reading. On the bludgeon tree, the innate skill stunner says it increases stun effectiveness, but I don't see changes in the time or percentage chance in stun skills. What does effectiveness mean in this case? So what it should mean is I'll double check this. Again, it's something I haven't looked at in a few years. Bludgeon is one of those trees that it is actually, of the 3 main melee weapons, it is the most popular in use right now. Obviously, ranged is more popular, and there's some magic trees are more popular, but bludgeon is the most popular in terms of bludgeon, polearm, and blades. If you exclude if you exclude new players, if you look at players who are over level, 100 or whatever. But yeah, what it should mean is it's increasing your chance to stun things, because even though it may say 100%, it may not be 100%, because it may be the creature has stun resistance. So that doesn't get communicated in there, because you can select a creature and it'll still say 100%. That is one that if we told you what the percentage was when you selected the creature, then that immediately is basically just telling you what its stun resistance is, which is something we generally don't do. Just like we don't adjust the damage for a weapon. If you're going to shoot it with your bow, we don't adjust the damage based on the damage resistance of the target or any of that stuff. Likewise, we don't show you the resistance of, if you're hitting some fire resistant thing or highly death magic resistant thing, we don't show that in the skill thing. So that is one that it should be, but I'll double check on that. Maybe if we have a break, I can go and double check that is accurate.
Sounds good.
One
update on the contest stuff, the catnip collection. Lainey says she's about halfway done, and then she's gonna try to wrap that up this weekend.
Awesome. Try and think of a way to get people into the fall, because it would be probably even the PvPers out there would appreciate more people going to the fall. It almost feels like there should be a way, like, to have the fall be non-PvP for some amount of time. Wonder if we do something like use the timing system like we have for Hidden Veil, Lost Veil to make it so, like, 2 hours out of every day or something, there's a PvP, no PvP time in the fall.
Oh, that would be interesting.
No, keep it 100% PvP. But here's the thing: if you get them in there, if they go there because they're thinking like it's time, quick, everybody go over there, they'll probably hang around and they'll probably lose track of time, and then they're hanging out there during the PvP. Oh man, you guys are so hateful there. Come on, I think it's a great idea. And then they get used to it and they decide they like it and they want to stay, and then there you go, more fresh bait. Stop. I'm getting a lot of stops. I thought it would actually be a pretty good idea to get more people in there, but they seem to disagree. They want to keep their exclusive scene exclusive. I get it. Let's see. Wait, are you talking about my haircut? I'm not sure. Somebody's commenting on haircuts. Yeah, I've got my hair. I just cut my hair yesterday, so. Myself, of course. I haven't got a real haircut in more than a year. Time PvP events only work for things like forts, castles, for resources, says Donk Leaps. Donk Leaps has spoken. Okay, well, just trying to find a way to get some new people in there for you guys. Irish Eyes, why don't we have ancient dragons in all colors? And can we have head drops on ancients bigger than regular dragons? Ooh. Good question, and I don't know why we don't have. I think somebody probably sat down. I know I've added a few of the dragons that are in there, but I just added them for specific scenes. Wanted something different and went and made a new dragon that was different. And usually when I do that, I'm going and taking the existing dragon and trying to color it, and it's like, it looks pretty good in green, and then our artist usually cries and scolds me for trying to just tint a dragon and call it a green dragon. So but yeah, there should be more colors. The ancient size thing, I'm not sure why we don't have bigger ones, because that does seem like we should have that. I know there's even fewer ancient dragons out there, or ancient dragon colors though. But yeah, that's good question on the ancient dragon size. Hold on, adding that to my list. Because, yeah, that one should be a pretty easy one. Of course, I say pretty easy, and that's one of those things. Elgarion is the guy who would normally has done a lot of that stuff over the last 6 months or so. He's been the guy to jump in and do that, and he is up to his neck now with artifact changes, crafting changes, and a ton of other stuff, which are all amazing, but it's put some of these other things on hold a little bit. Let's see. Going down the questions. Have you got any in there that you see you want? I've got some more coming in here.
Yeah.
Okay.
I saw one that I have a desire for.
Go for it.
In Mistrunder, are we going to have interconnected underworld like we do in Novia and Hidden Vale? And I think that is definitely a good idea. So it'll take a little bit of work to get that done, but I think that should be on the plan.
So yeah, that's one of those. My story time for today will be about where those came from, because there actually wasn't going to be a underworld, and that was I pushed for it as one of the fiction things that I wanted it built into the fiction, that all the shards came raining down and that people retreated underground and built many more tunnels and connections to try and make it so that was the quick way to get around. And that was kind of my hope, was that we would have enough of those things in the other continents so people could actually use that as their transportation method rather than even traveling on Novia. So I could just skip the Novia map and then go through 2 or 3 dungeons to get there. That's actually, if you look at the Rise, it was meant to be a connection hub of up to 12 or more different connections, so that dungeons could connect into that, and that's how you can get from point A to point B, and so players who knew what they were doing could get through there. And that's actually, if you look at like the big chamber and the Rise, all the different ins and outs, those are supposed to be all coming from one place to another, and supposed to be the how to get around quick underground. I think I was the one that was most passionate about that, so I'm still passionate about it. I would love to have that type of stuff on there.
Yep. Yeah, and that's definitely what I want to end up specializing in. Obviously, I have a little bit of a headway to get there because now I have a backlog in front of me. Mm-hmm. I got the Lottie scene to do, and a hometown, which I promised everybody I was going to do. So I want to get the hometown island fixed and get all the houses up on the main island, so they're not in the other scenes and all that stuff. But as I discussed with you, and I guess I'll hint at it, is that I have plans for a huge underworld dungeon, and if that all works out, then I think we'll see your vision come to pass.
Of course, I'm now sitting here, as I was saying that, talking about I wish I had people to make dungeons for me, and now I'm sitting here trying to think about how I could enable players to make those underground connection dungeons for us using the existing dungeon system. I don't think they quite have enough parts. I need to get them some more. Let's see. Will the changes to Lesser Damon's Pet's Chaos Bolt make it in soon? Currently, it's pretty awful outside random stuns. Yes, that should be. I'm going to try to get all the pet changes. There's enough of them, and these changes are enough and big enough that I'm probably going to hold it for next release, since I think this is a pretty short release anyways. We're less than 3 weeks away from the next release already, so that'll be held until the next one, but I'm trying to get all of the pets tuned up for this next time around. A lot of those pets, I think the biggest problem with them is they were set up originally, and it looks like the ones I've been fixing at least weren't set to properly scale with creature toughness. So in many cases their attack, the Chaos Bolt or whatever, air attack, whatever type attack, is the weakest thing they have. Now if the creature were super low level, if you had maybe an 80 skill in it or something like that, then the attack would probably feel appropriate. It just doesn't continue to scale with the creature. So I'm getting all those guys so they all scale properly, and that should be going live next release, and Lesser Demon should be on there. I think I mentioned in a tweet today that I've been pushing Elgarion as he's working through some of these things to come up with ideas for new combat stuff and stats that I can code in for him, and he can add to items. So that's the ones he had today were 4 different chaos boosting stats. So there are 4 different things that are all, he can now use those. I'm sure he was asking because he's putting them on artifacts or enchantments for, for general crafting stuff. But so they were all to help with different, combat. I think there was one for Tabula Rasa. There was a couple for Chaos Bolt. There's a couple for Torpid Torment. So you can look forward to those coming up in the others. Unrelated to the question, but the Chaos Bolt reminded me of that.
So we have a question here for any plans for more UI sort options, other QOL improvements, butchering recipes. You can have carcasses would sift to the top, or sort recipes only those we have ingredients for. Sorting options for items in the inventory would be good too. Some things would really sort weird, like sort by price. Personally, I think every column should be sortable, and you should be able to do filters like that. Obviously, it's not a 5-minute solution, but I think we definitely should go in that direction.
And sometimes Lurker here is asking, will the Chaos Tree get revamped soon? Pretty awful tree for PvE. Chaotic Clone still doesn't even work. Chaotic Clone works, it's just got some buggy issues. That was actually one of the discussions today, is updating Chaotic Clone to make it more real, more useful. I know some of the ideas being thrown around involved the Chaotic Clone being, well, first hopefully fixed, so it looks more normal, but then also changed so it can be set up as a like a bomb. So if a Chaotic Clone gets killed, it explodes. But yes, I think Chaos Tree is the one that's going to get some love this release. I don't know if it's going to get a new skill or spell or spells, but it will be seeing a number of updates for it to make it more useful. It definitely needs more options. You really need multiple different things going on. And obviously Torpid Torment's not something that's useful for a creature. So PvE it is pretty wimpy. Chaos Warding. I've looked, it's because of how Chaos, the idea, for those who are new or don't know, the idea behind all the Chaos Tree stuff is, the schools all have opposing schools: water, fire, sun, moon, earth, air, death, life. And for those also who hadn't really put it together, there's supposed to be 4 elementals here. Earth, fire, air, and water. And then the 4 magical ones, elemental magic versus normal magic. But then Chaos was supposed to be the outlier, that there's no way to really resist it or prevent it. So having a Chaos Warding would kind of be a way to prevent it or resist it. But obviously you can raise your Chaos Attunement, which helps things. But I expect if we get Chaos Tree, if we give it a little more love, that will be something we have to have for it, as some way that you can, some defense, resistance stuff for it of some sort. Again, trying to keep PvE and PvP in mind. So currently there is not a way to do it though. There is actually a stat for Chaos Resistance, but there's no way to actually get Chaos Resistance stuff. So it may be something that has to be built into gear. Maybe that's something Obsidian Armor or something like that could start giving it, or maybe Bone could get Chaos Resistance and Obsidian Armor gets Chaos Attunement. No law school, har har har. Tular was saying, why no law school? Let's see. Will there be destroyer-level dragons for us to tame? That's another one that shouldn't be too hard when we are talking about the dragons, tamed different things. Especially if we already have the baby dragon type stuff that you can tame, getting destroyer-level versions of it would not be that difficult. Anytime like that where it's generally just a scaling and stats type thing, that's something that, again, I would normally say, Elgarion, can we get that in there? But I'm trying to stay off of his back right now because he has a full plate. and doing some amazing things. So maybe we can get there. And I don't see Devil Cult chiming in. I heard you talking about the UI sort options and quality of life stuff. He's got a long list. He's been fixing bugs left and right. I'm not sure what UI stuff we're going to get on him this release, but surely we can get a few things in there. Of course, my dream, since he's out there and he loves pressure, he's told me many times he loves it when I talk about things and quickly throw out ideas that make it look like he's going to be doing things. I still would love to figure out a way to get the party bar stuff redone. He got some of it redone, which I think helped performance some, but there's still some, it still needs some love over here. Also, Alphane, I haven't seen him out there. Just wanted to confirm with him that his prize, his Chaos Medal, has actually shipped and is in the mail. Hey, thank you very much to Aeolus Adara. Thank you, and I'll be thanking everybody at the end too. Thori Kamara says, "Why no love? Look at those friends requests." Yeah, that's.
Yeah, come on, Atos, man, you have to catch up.
No,
here.
I don't. This is my test character. I don't want people to know. Obviously they can send me a whisper or whatever, but I like being able to play. And yes, I could play in ghost mode all the time, but ghost mode breaks like half the things in the game when you're trying to test stuff.
Yeah.
It's impossible to play in ghost mode. Like you run up and like, what's going on? And it's like creatures don't spawn and other things don't happen when you're in ghost mode. And like, I need to be in non-ghost mode to be able to get on without being swamped. Let's see. Tablet of Finding for Chris. No. I keep waiting to see if players, you guys for 3-4 years always had special ways of finding devs when they were on that we didn't have patched up. So I think we got most of those patched now. Hopefully. Let's see. I'm going to ghost mode my girlfriend. Comb1 says, could you allow Lua to mod UI and players could build good UIs? Yes and no. So there's some stuff in there already. You can actually hook up Lua, hook up buttons to it, put text on screen, do most of the things you need for UI. There's some things that are missing, but the challenge that has been there with Lua and Devil Cult will probably be nodding, as will most other Unity developers out there, is at least the Unity UI stuff I've hooked up so far has been through something they call, it's not immediate mode, what do they call it? Yes, but anyways, the non-tech version of it it's in the old UI version stuff, the simple UI version stuff, which generates a ton of garbage collection. So if you get too much UI on the screen, as people know, and Punk Beach knows, it starts causing some nasty garbage collection. Thank you, Thori Kamara. So I've actually been looking at some stuff for that. One of the things I was going to look at to see, and this may just hinder performance too much, you can actually get around some of that nasty garbage collection from a lot of UI just by forcing a garbage collection, but that ends up doing it, like if you do it every frame, which may be what's needed if you have a ton of UI on the screen, that it would cause some frame rate issues. But no, I would love to expose it all to you guys. But we need to move it away from the crappy Unity version. I'm waiting for someone to name what the actual Unity version's called. No one? But that is one of the reasons the guy who has joined us recently as a full-time engineer, Devil Cult, is actually a fan of Lua as well. So maybe that's one that he can look at. And again, I continue to push him to like, come on, let's figure out something to do with UI stuff. But that is something I've thrown out a number of times, is actually fixing up our UI calls and trying to get it in there. I'm honestly shocked that there hasn't been somebody out there in the Unity world of a million plus devs who hasn't gone and hooked up the better Unity UI stuff to Lua. Let's see. Hold on. I'm looking on things on here. Can we have in-game coordinates to an on-screen coordinates conversion Lua function? That would be a super easy one, John. And that would be... I can drop that in for you immediately. And that's, again, the UI stuff, in case you're wondering, the hitching on screen, or the hitching that Lua causes, is proportional to how many different things you throw at it. So this is something, having a little bit of Lua UI on the screen doesn't cause problems. It's when some people are doing some pretty major stuff out there, filling lots and lots of print statements and all over the place. And I see Donk Leap saying, do you mean mono? I'm trying to figure out who he talked to. Or who he's replying to. I don't mean mono. There's some ways we could expose mono to you guys. Just gets a little concerning, a little tough that we have to do some more securing on that stuff. There's actually ways you can hook mono in, as many of the hackers out there might know. But no, it's not something we've done. Lua is not the problem in terms of the performance that you're seeing with the hitching. Lua is not the problem, so that's not... Switching to mono or giving you guys access to mono versus Lua is not going to fix the problem. The problem is the version of the UI calls that we're giving you guys. Let's see. Yeah, maybe this is the release I'd try to spend a week on Lua stuff and fix up. There's a few things. I know there's a few bugs in there, but give you guys a little more access to things. At the very least, give you an access to a forced garbage collection and a XYZ, so you guys can print out locs on screen if you want to, or have a constant update. That Devil Cult guy. Oh, and I see Devil Cult says eventually I'll hook up some good UI stuff to it. Just need some time. You got all the time in the world, man. Except for all that time you spend on all the other things. Devil Cult is the guy who now joins me along with actually that guy up there, Ravalox, for the early morning overlap where they're up from the night before and I'm getting up early in the morning. So we all complain about our 4 a.m. downtime that gets caused by servers doing some backup stuff that makes us all stop working for 15 minutes or so. The sometimes lurker. Why is life warding a skill? Seems pretty useless. It is absolutely useless, honestly. Maybe I should take it out. I mean, I put it in there obviously because it'd be weird to have 8 schools of magic and not have, have all of them but one have a warding skill. But yes, it is absolutely useless. Now, the other thing I've had requested though is I've had people say we want ways to do damage from life magic school, which has kind of gone against the whole idea behind life magic, but yeah, maybe I'll just slowly phase that out and return experience points to people. Oh, Coswald Dirthmeyer says helps a little in PvP if you're wearing a Lich Ring. Yeah, good point. That said, I untrained it. Maybe we should just put a warning on it telling people that why would you have this skill? U235 Sentinel says Water Ice needs another attack skill. I agree. It has, I really want schools to have, at a very minimum, have a direct AE, a direct single target, and then possibly some type of field effect school going on. And it really has, Ice Bolt, obviously. And it's got the ice field, but it doesn't really have another one that can hit a bunch of targets. So that is one that needs it, and that's just because there are some people out there who like to play the single school and they want to be able to have, having a second school makes a huge difference. I did that, already added one for the moon stuff, so they've got a couple different attacks. But yeah, it needs something. Yeah, and if you guys have ideas, again, I'm always open to listening to ideas. Sometimes your ideas sound cool, and would play out cool and make total sense balance-wise or fictionally wise, and are freaking nightmarish to implement. So that is always the challenge. Snowfall would be a good one, but Snowfall feels a bit too much like it might be like Icefield. We already have a way to make it snowy and slow people down. I'm not sure what those would do. Now there could be, I could see Snowfall being like a good debuff type thing of, you cast Icefield to slow their movement down, then you cast Snowfall to debuff attack speeds or cast speeds or something. Hailstorm. And thank you very much, Vesper, for the kind words. All right, let me jump back into some questions over here. Let's see. The sometimes lurker, will there be chaos gems in the future? Still don't have them to enchant gear. That probably has been less of an issue because chaos has kind of sucked. So if I can manage to get Chaos Tree not sucking for you guys on this next release and make it something that people want to play rather than just as a curiosity or a PvP thing, then I can totally see us adding a chaos gem. Still looking for ideas for the next ice thing. Freeze weapon, like we have ignite weapon. Ooh, that might be good. Trying to think what freeze weapon would do. I guess it could apply to the same thing like hitting them with an ice fist or something where it applies a slow to them. Obviously do a little extra damage. But yeah, that's kind of the idea behind the ice and water schools is, if you look back at the schools over here, the fire is obviously the DPS tree. It's all about the DPS. Water was kind of about a little bit of debuff and slow you down. You got some ways to remove debuffs and then the slows, but having some other debuffs in it wouldn't be too bad. Like debuffing attack speed again would be another good one. Frostbite. Ooh, I like that. Slow and low damage DPS. I'm not sure what the visual would look like on that, but that could be good. Yeah, and again, hail is another one that would be another good one, but again, that feels too much like a meteor shower and doesn't feel like a real direct damage. Cone of Cold. Yeah, I mean, that's a classic D&D one. Again, Ice Storm feels probably too much like a combination of Ice Field and Meteor Shower, but Cone of Cold wouldn't be too bad. Cold Front, Cone, direct damage. Alright. Brazen Spirituality. Man, I wish I knew the context behind this. Hey, what just happened? Are you taking me somewhere? You're muted.
Yeah, you've been summoned.
Okay. Take me somewhere that doesn't look boring?
Yeah, exactly. Just to wander around a little bit.
Yeah, the context thing I was talking about was Brazen Spirituality says Trogdor is trademarked. Okay, I believe that. I don't know why that was being mentioned. I guess there's a conversation I missed out on. Trogdor the Burninator. Let's see. Ask Elgarion to make with the alchemy potion system same what he did with the food one. 120 plus different potions with new effects. Chef Frank. That may be a good next thing for him to hit. He's got pretty good groove going there where he's been able to go and look at all these systems that evolved over the past 5 years. And, while they may be fun, they lack a lot in terms of balance and uniformity and a lot of other stuff, which I think that was something that was pretty tolerable in the earlier days, and actually something that, probably Richard likes is the lack of uniformity in things. But bringing some level of uniform to it, balance to it is important. So maybe that can be the next big thing he hits. He's already hit the food consumables, maybe the potions after he finishes crafting. My guess is he's got at least this release and probably one more release before he'll really wrap up and be happy with the crafting stuff. And honestly, at that point, I'm not going to commit him to anything because he may be so burned out on putting together massive spreadsheets and touching thousands of files to try and, adjust things, that he may want to work on different stuff. So, and it sounds like that odd French guy says Elgarion did say he had planned to attack the alchemy consumables. Yeah. And I think he's probably hitting these things up just in terms of the orders he sees of balance and the need, what things are going to make the most difference in the game. I am big on consumables in terms of looking at economy stuff. So I would love to have him hit some of that stuff. And when I mention economy and consumables, those two things go hand in hand. Because, again, if you look at an economy, consumables are where all the costs need to go, where all the sinks need to go. There can be some in the gear, obviously, as we have things for repairs and other stuff, but getting the consumables out there so that things actually vanish. It's stuff that has a cost and requires stuff, but it actually vanishes when you're done, rather than it being nearly permanent type stuff, almost always repairable. Let's see. Would Chaos Storm for Chaos be nice? Could be AoE Chaos damage, the random buff debuff. That could be cool. Trying to think, could be just like basically a AE slow cast Chaos Bolt style, shooting people doing stuff, throwing some of the other chaotic things like, small teleports and junk like that. That may be a fun one. Let's see, can we get the disco ball able to be placed other places besides only on an indoor ceiling? Outdoor areas currently can't use a disco ball for deco. That one is an easy one. So I'm going to say yes, we probably can. Except I'm trying to think things that have ceilings you can hang it from. I guess you could build like a platform. You guys are always doing that, and just hang it from the bottom of anything. Wonder if that's actually doable. Yep.
Close your skill thing so people can see.
Okay.
And go to the sign and go to the central gallows, I think it was.
Yep.
There you go. Okay. Something like that.
You want to tell people what we're looking at here?
I have no idea. It looks like a bunch of people didn't make it.
See, this is a... oh, that's nice. It's got a little animation for the skeleton.
Yeah, a little rocking effect. That's cool.
I see the Star Wars, or the burned skeletons, totally not making fun of Star Wars stuff. Getting lots of use down here. Alright, let me get back to some questions. I think we got a handful left here. Let's see. Cooking could be expanded to include brewing, baking. Does it not include cooking or brewing, baking?
Yeah, brewing, don't we?
Yes, we have brewing. I think he already made a pass on the brewing stuff as well. Let's see. Noob Skybladder. Is it possible to restore dual Ankh wielding? Obviously, yes, it's possible, but that's one of those things I think we decided that was a band-aid we wanted to pull off, was there were just some extremely unbalanced items, and then also some dual wielding of some of that stuff made them even more OP. So just as a rule, I believe that is something Elgarion has done that I agree with. Just never really did myself, just because, again, worried about how much anger it would generate. But yeah, no, I don't think the dual Ankh wielding stuff is going to come back. And I think in general the changes, I've looked over a lot of the changes that he made, and all of them have seemed to be on target. Again, some of those things were created with the idea of they were a little OP, but we didn't realize how OP they were until they really got out into the ecosystem. And then the idea, that scarcity was supposed to be what drove things. But artifacts lasting too long, basically durable goods lasting too long, made it so scarcity was much less of an issue. And when that happened, we kind of had to pick, how are we going to, we got to fix something on this to get balance back in whack, and we either need to make it so these items go away a lot faster, so we can bring back the concept of scarcity and their balance. The balance form is there's not many of them out there and they vanish quickly over time, or we need to bring them into balance. Between those two, we went with the keep things around a little bit longer, or keep things around so they stay longer, but then reduce the power of them. Again, there were some things I think we did have a proper level of scarcity, but that is also one of those things we get a lot of player feedback, and that's another one of the things is item X, Y, or Z is entirely too rare. You should make it drop more. So part of the balance for making things drop a little bit more in many cases was that they needed to be brought down in power. So anyways, sorry for those people who lost a specific play strategy. But hopefully everybody's adapting and know that there will be some more good stuff coming with it. Oh, it's after 5 o'clock and we haven't done a single drawing, and I need to sing a song here. But first, let me get some prizings going. And I think we only need 3 today.
You only made it level 3?
No, they only made it level 1.
Oh, okay. While you're doing that, as I mentioned earlier, I'm going to be concentrating on the Lord of the Isle basement this month, doing the polish on it and getting the scene itself is pretty much done. So I'm just going to get in there and make it look a lot better and clean up some of the stuff that needs to be cleaned up before I hand it over to Sanyo and List for final review and polish. From the actual experts. And what I plan to do is, for that, along with some other stuff that I'm going to be doing, especially Hometown, is I'm going to start streaming on the Shroud of the Avatar channel while I'm doing that work. So people could see how exciting it is. And I do have to say that when I'm working on scenes, I forget to go to sleep. There have been times, you come in and you just tell me to go to bed. I'm like, I'm just wide awake, going and going. It's actually very fulfilling to be doing that stuff.
Oh no, I've mentioned it before. That's, fixing bugs is draining, but working on map stuff where you can actually see stuff and you feel like you're doing stuff. To me, that's kind of I always call it the going and raking my sand garden of relaxation and enjoyment and feeling like stuff is getting done. So yeah, I wish I had more time for that stuff, but all right. Yep. Looks like they're popping out here. Let's see. Hold on, I got a few more questions coming in. Sometimes Lurker asking about the lesser demon changes. Will it get its jump slam and charge attacks? One of the things I've been looking at, I haven't done much, but I was looking at moving some of the actual demon has some pretty serious attacks, but some of the attacks that he has would just be either don't work in PvE or don't work with a creature against other creatures, or really would just be annoying, like having your lesser demon teleporting stuff around or summoning stuff to you could just be annoying. So I'm looking at adding some new things to them. I'm not sure what it's going to be yet, but hopefully, again, this is my release. I'm hoping to get most of the pets to a point where, again, just like the levels, we've got people going to multiple different levels now. In playstyles, we've got people splitting up their playstyles and playing different playstyles. I'd love to get it so next release is the release where people feel like they, whatever schools they work in is the school they're going to summon their pet for, because it makes sense. So, wish me luck.
Good luck.
Yeah, I need it. Everybody's passionate about their pets. Let's see. We have some prizes here. Also, I think I might have mentioned at the start of the stream, but I am planning on getting at least one more patch out that's got some bug fixes in it. It's got a fix for some Bard nonsense with... I don't even want to say what it is. But there's some exploits that go on with the Bard stuff right now. This is going to be fixing those. I'm not nerfing any of the skills. There's something that's a very obvious bug that some people know about, but I'll be fixing that. There'll be a few new balance things going in, but not too much. So, next patch. I know there's also some number of pot changes that have gone in from some people who have pots or made pot changes that got fixed in, and a lot of bug fixes for the Panopticon. So you guys can look forward to that. Again, maybe this weekend. We'll see. I always hate publishing on the weekend, but I might be able to get it out tomorrow morning or Sunday morning. Sunday morning's probably the best bet. That's lower play time. Mostly it's just people hanging over from the night before because you guys are crazy and stay up all night. All right. You want to do the prizes or the characters?
I'll do the characters.
All right. First prize up, tabletop cherry blossom tree 3-pack.
Okay, and I just do all three of them, right?
Yep.
Okay, that'll be J-Doc, Shepherd, and Magmas Novastalker.
Ornate Viking planting pot 2-pack goes to
Delta Lock, Sean Silverfoot, and Leia McGregor. So is that Leia or Lee? I think it's Leia, right?
You're worrying about it too much.
Yeah.
We just spit them out and they know who they are. Anemone flower bed.
Mandalar, Shiroi Kaze, and Tonlar Fulton.
Small fancy pavilion goes to
Indigo Love Jones. Dear Von Stan. Von Stan, yeah. And Submarine Mike.
All right. And last but not least, the Blue Marble Indoor Pool Dungeon Room
goes to Vivian Locke, Felden Grimshaw, and Aria Bloodmoon.
All right, and it looks like we got Save the Grill and Coswald up right now for stream people here. Let's see, I'm just going to do, those guys are both awesome. Coswald's giving me some awesome feedback lately. And helping out with some bugs. Actually, maybe I'll do, I don't think we did Coswald last time. Save the Grill is also awesome, but I think I'm just going to give Coswald my raid. He's been doing some great presentation stuff. And helping out with a lot of stuff. So, I think I am exhausted. And, wait, I need to thank people. That's what I need to do next. Hold on, let me thank people. Let me do this real quick. Thank you, Dices. Thank you, Save the Grill. Thank you, Aspie. Oh, and I just told Save the Grill we're not going to rate him. Or we're not going to give him a thing. He rated us. Thori Kamara, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm not going to say it 15 times, but thank you, sir. Aelis Adara, Warg73, Stymie LLTS, Mandalar, Miskabel, U235 Sentinel, John Marcus for letting me sing. And more. Always John Marcus. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Din Haru, thank you. Submarine Mike, Twilight Tempest, Waldo Ptolemy, Twilight Tempest again, Red Hammers, Suzer, you know who you are. Hefest, Treasure Pile, Radicus, Stymie, Long Live the Syndicate, Irish Eyes, Waldo, Skeggy, Tick is Not, Asmodee Mool, and Gravity 42 Versago for some subs he gave out. And Waldo again. Man, Waldo. Lots of Waldoing. Royu, Lancel. And I think that's probably good. So we're going to give Coswald here the raid. Oh, I feel bad now because I said that before I saw Save the Grill. Save the Grill.
And Bridge Troll, we will get you into the brigade.
Awesome.
And I'll take that opportunity to do a little bit of an advertisement. If anybody is not in the bug brigade, basically what you do is just be involved. If you find a bug, report it on the forums in the appropriate area, and or help us test when bugs are being fixed on the QA server. We'll put out testing directives every so often. And as a thank you for doing all that type of stuff on a monthly basis, you'll get a reward from the bug brigade. There is a document in the bug testing sections of the forum called Bug Brigade Rides Again that will tell you all about it and shows what the rewards are.
I was just reminded I actually rated Coswald last week because he's awesome. He is awesome. But I think I'm going to give Save to Grill the raid. Coswald, you'll forgive me, I hopefully. But I don't like raiding people twice in a row. So sorry, man. I am absolutely exhausted this week. So, and yes, they're both great guys. So I'm gonna give them that, and I will go out, send you out on a song here. See if I can actually get the words out for a song. I have the energy left for it. But here we're gonna go raid Save the Grill. Make sure and give them a follow there. But as that gets ready to go, let me just say, this is for John Marcus, by the way. It's astounding. Time is fleeting. Madness takes its toll. But listen closely. Not very much longer. I've got to keep control. I remember doing the time warp, drinking those moments when the blackness would hit me and the void would be calling. Let's do... Oh, pitch is off. It's been like 30 years since I've been to a time warp, a Rocky Horror Picture Show. Let's do the time warp again. It's just a jump to the left and then a step to the right. You know what? I think I rated...
Yeah, we've been
what? Each other. I've just been saying to nobody?
That's right. The first 3 words out.
Why did it rate so fast? I don't think I hit the button.
Oh. It's a shame, too, because it's a song I actually know that I can actually do the duet parts.
All right, well, John Marcus, if you're still out there because you didn't follow the raid, I will get you a free song next week. I owe you a song.
Oh, they say they can hear us.
Well, there's some people. Not everybody goes over to raid, I don't think. Or maybe he's hosting. Is he like hosting me? That'd be some type of loop, I think. You heard me? All right. Well, maybe I'll give him a song next week, anyways, just as an excuse. We can hear you through the grills. All right. Well, guys, sorry again. Super exhausted. I will try and get a little more rest for next week and give you guys a better song and a better stream. But guys, thanks for all the support and enjoy his stream, and we will talk to you next week. See ya.
See you later. Bye-bye.